The next guest is Michael Redmond, who's much more famous than everybody in the entire theatre. And he's been on Ben Elton's Friday Night Live. Dave?
And he's also been in Montreal.
That's right, at the Montreal Comedy Festival. So he's, much more famous than most people. And he shared the stage with Rowan Atkinson.
Great.
What's something, Dave? This is to prove that he's really famous, this glittery bit now. Mind you, Paul Malone got that earlier on, didn't he? All right, Michael Redmond, ladies and gentlemen.
Michael Redmond, ladies and gentlemen.
Good evening. Fine. Fuck off, you wanker. I saw you as well, that's why I know you're a wanker. Oh, shut up. You know that old wives' tale that shaving off your pubic hair and eating it in a stew stops the hair in your head going grey? It's true. Anyway, all right then. Hello? Well, not very well myself, actually. Not long out of hospital, dislocated jaw. Thank you for asking. What happened was, I was at this party a few months ago. This big bloke came in. It was pretty obvious he was wearing a toupee. I didn't really mean any harm. I merely suggested he should take it off while he was indoors, otherwise he wouldn't feel the benefit of it when he went outside again. Didn't share my sense of humor. I actually feel sorry for people with artificial legs because they're very limiting, aren't they? I mean, you can go up to someone with an artificial leg and say, well, all right, you can walk, but can you do this? And they laugh. And they kick me in the balls with the other leg. And they fall down and I laugh. People sometimes come up to me and say that it's a bad taste to make fun about things like that. I don't agree. I think it's quite harmless. There is one thing I draw the line at. There is one target I would never ridicule, because I think it's basically vile, unnecessary, and sick. And I feel quite strongly about it. That's people with big noses. Unless the nose is artificial, that is. Like mine. I'm only wearing this for comedy purposes, obviously. Showbiz. I've been considering a serious problem recently. Do you think it's possible to recover your sexual dignity if you're just about to get into bed with your lover and she notices a piece of wayward toilet paper sticking out of your bottom? I think probably not. And I've been out with the Sebra now for about 2 years. We met in the northern province of Karandi in Kuala Lumpur while we were on holidays. No, I tell a lie, it was Dublin. I always get the two of them mixed up because of the bus service. I don't know about marriage. I've actually taken out a contract on myself concerning marriage. It doesn't actually come into operation if I get married. But if I do get married, and I'm ever seen in the supermarket on a Saturday morning with my wife, and we're both wearing matching tracksuits, and to be shot on the spot by a sawn-off shotgun. And if the bottom of the tracksuit is so sort of flabby arse, it looks like I'm carrying shopping in it. And to be tortured first. You have these married friends who have babies, and they invite you around to see the baby. And you're supposed to say whether you think it's like the mother or the father. I always get really awkward to this because you're just sort of sitting there looking at the baby's face, thinking he looks more like an orangutan's arse than the mother or the father. And they get really pissed off when you tell them that. I should really be thinking about having babies because I'm 39 now. Quite happy, fuck off. But I never really sort of thought of myself as middle-aged until I realized I sit down in the toilet now just to have a piss. One thing I've noticed about being middle-aged is that you start getting to like country and western music without realizing it. I was coming home on the bus one day recently, this friend of mine got on and sat beside me. So he looked at me for a few minutes and then he said, what the fuck are you doing with the new Tommy Wynette album? And the frightening thing is that I didn't even remember buying it. I'm also not as fit as I used to be. I should give up smoking. Are there any smokers in the audience, by the way? None at all? Yeah? Because I smoke quite a lot. I'm going to get pissed off at all this anti-smoking business. I always sit in the smoking compartments of trains. When someone comes in and sits down who isn't smoking, I like to go to them and say, excuse me, do you mind? The smoking compartment. So there are some smokers in the audience. I should give up smoking because I'm not as fit as I used to be. I actually get caught sometimes now when I knock on someone's door and try to run away. I also start thinking about death. One thing that really pisses me off about death is that if I were to die tomorrow, there's a 50-50 chance that life would carry on as before without me. It's like it's fucking raining. Anyway, speaking about death, I was at a funeral recently. I was in the family home afterwards offering my condolences. Remember, after about 5 minutes or so, the eldest son of the family came up to me and said, would you mind leaving, please? We've had a family discussion. None of us have ever seen you before. I mean, how do people expect to make new friends with that sort of bloody attitude? I've been living in England for a couple of years now. There's one thing I noticed about living in England. A lot of people over there, particularly in London, seem to think that Dublin is just a small village. I was in a pub the other night ordering a drink. There was this guy standing beside me. He obviously heard my accent because he said, excuse me, mate, are you from Dublin? I said, yes, I am, yeah. He says, oh, do you know a bloke called Sean Corcoran, then? I said, there are over 1 million people living in Dublin, for Christ's sake. And the only thing is, I fucking do know Sean Corcoran. That's all from me. Thank you very much. Good night.
Mr. Michael Redmond.